Sorry I haven't been around a lot in the last couple of weeks. My family actually had to go back to California briefly to pick up the rest of our stuff that we didn't take in our move and bring Gabby along. And this is Gabby. And now we have all three cats in the same house and we are happy. 4 days driving across the country. It's pretty wiped. After that, I wound up needing just a little bit of a vacation. In my head, working on the next video, I had a thought. You know what Animal House needed? Zombies. This is Night of the Creeps. The satellite of love really let itself go. Let me see if I'm understanding what's happening here. B Space Baby 1 has stolen something. Nobody's wearing pants. Just an observation. B Space Baby 1 jettisons what he stole off the ship. And that thing lands on Earth in 1959 in a place called Sorority Row. It was the 50s, before we invented color, a simpler time, when making out was prearranged in motor vehicles surrounded by other horny teens.
Starlight, star bright.
Shh, don't ruin this. This is Pam and she's cheating on her boyfriend, Ray, who's a cop. Dude's about to have a lifetime of busted taillights.
Let's go home, will ya?
Your home, not his, and no, he's not going with you. It was also a time when kids investigated things themselves rather than Googling it.
Johnny.
You stay here.
He might not have been so quick to investigate this if you only touched his more often. Johnny finds the object, which turns out to be the thing ejected by the wee space baby. Not what he expected tonight, but it's close. Oh, and there's an axe murderer on the loose. Flash forward to 1986, a time called Pledge Week, when kids weren't afraid to walk around at night and toilet paper grew on trees. This is Chris Romero and JC, James Carpenter Hooper. All the main characters will have last names based on major horror and sci-fi directors. Kinda cute. But these two are, putting it mildly, dorks. Romero, develops a thing for Cynthia Cronenberg, played by Jill Whitlow. She's in a sorority, meaning she's probably out of his league. And I think she's dating Electro Boom. JC is Romero's wingman to the end.
Of course, you realize there's only one way this girl is ever gonna take you seriously.
I know, cunnilingus.
So naive.
To get close, they try pledging to join a frat. They have to do something first.
We don't have to have sex with a farm animal, do we?
Why, you got one? They have to break into a medical research lab and steal a corpse and dump it on a sorority. So they have to break into a lab, like this one, which is surprisingly easy to open.
Are you sure he's dead?
I think it's held in place by one of those Staples Now It's Easy buttons.
That was easy.
Well, this guy isn't exactly dead, just frozen for freshness.
On the way back?
So they leave the body behind and bolt. Dr. David Paymer is left with a mess and a rapidly thawing dude. It is cold in here. But that's not all that's thawing.
Swallow, bitch!
The bad news, he swallows a parasite. The good news is it got him into a fraternity. Nothing to see here, just coming back from the library and not violating a corpse. No. I can't tell if Romero's a shitty runner or if JC can really jam on those crutches. Well, that happened. Ray grew up to become Tom Atkins. His dream starts cool, but always goes into dark flashbacks to that fateful night. I'm keeping this for reasons. Hello, boys and ghouls. That's it. Next time, only one scotch before bed.
Thrill me.
Yeah!
Detective Cameron?
It's not an 80s crime scene without some lab tech eating a sandwich.
Detective Cameron?
No. Bullwinkle Moose.
Detective Moose, you need to see this.
You're looking at your actual cryogenics lab.
Cool. I know, too easy.
What is this, a homicide or a bad B movie?
Why, yes. Yes, it is.
Raimi!
Yes, sir.
Raimi,
Corpses that have been dead for 27 years do not get up and go for a walk by themselves!
even dead, the urge to panty raid is too strong. Old habits die hard. Brom. His head splits open and spews out a dozen or so alien parasite slugs. It's a good thing this didn't happen in UC Santa Cruz. Everyone would just be trying to lick these things. Sometimes, you just gotta. They find the missing body. Don't they feed you at home, man?
That body you were looking for, Detective?
Thrill me.
Yeah!
You know how to make a character instantly vile?
Fred, stop!
That's how. She didn't splurge on the power finger package. Our heroes get blamed for the corpse thing, which of course they chickened out of. But keep in mind, all of the upcoming carnage is absolutely because of what these two started.
I personally would rather have my brains invaded by creatures from space than pledge a fraternity.
We'll hold you to that, kiddo. Turns out they have no choice but to believe they chickened out. Their witness didn't see them with a body. And as for the scientist's body, he's feeling better. The bodies are piling up. We might have to cancel Pledge Week. Might. Cynthia tells the guys about zombie Slugface, which is a great conversation starter. Works like a charm. Super Wingman JC sees the sparks flying and excuses himself. He steps into the men's room, followed by the now zombie janitor. Remember, 2 L's in Kilroy. The janitor's head pops and releases more space slugs. And since he's the janitor, there's no one left to clean this up. JC is trapped in the stall by swarming slugs. Well, he's in the right place. Ooh, not cool. He's trying to go in the back. The fact that he's on crutches and forcing his face to floor level makes this scene even more terrifying.
Zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies.
These are a few of my favorites.
Some backstory. The cop tracked down the axe murderer that killed his girl and killed him, then buried him where the sorority house mother's house now stands. And today of all days, he decides to get back up.
Really?
Yeah!
I don't think Oz had a body count as high as this college. They quickly locate the axe-wielding maniac zombie and close in. Maybe this time you won't F it up? Keep shooting, I think you missed a spot.
Do you think you got him?
Romero finds a message from JC. JC leaves a message while the parasite takes hold. He also has a tip on how to kill them.
Yeah!
Brad is a little broken up about getting dumped by Cynthia, but the night's about to get livelier.
Hey, dog. Did you see that thing?
Why ask me? I'm just a dog.
Swallow, bitch!
Shit. I'm still in Vietnam. Romero goes to the only person who would understand, interrupting what would have been a quiet evening. Eventually, the party bus stops for one more passenger. The dog's here, now it's a party. Detective Cameron requisitions a flamethrower from the police armory. And the strange part is they actually carry one. Well, we didn't get dressed up for nothing. You have to let them down gently when they're dead.
Sorry, Brad.
Oh, don't pretend you hated every second of that.
Here, hold this. You feel better.
That line might have worked in high school, but not college.
The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
At least when they say they'll pick you up at 8:30, they pick you up at 8:30, damn it.
It's Miller time.
I know it was the 80s and all, but the catchphrase here doesn't really land. Please tell me these were all zombies. They make a better couple than the natural-born killers.
What's in the basement?
The slugs are gathering in the basement, where we remember one of the girls was storing her school project, a bunch of brains in jars.
Get out of the house.
Bitches leave.
In the basement, they find Cameron about to go Billy Joel on the place. The slugs are helpfully in one spot, and Cameron knows this is a one-way trip. I hope they're really all in there. All his catchphrases paid off.
Detective, thrill me.
Considering what they just saw and been through, I don't think I could handle something squirming in my mouth for at least a few hours. Are you freaking kidding me? I guess it ain't over yet. Those aliens come back looking for their lost critters. And that's how it ends. I remember an ending where that dog runs up and shoots a slug into someone's mouth right before the credits. In any case, I like the other ending better. That was Night of the Creeps. Our leads are very likable and relatable. They're more of the everyman character than your typical hero, before slipping into the role later themselves. Killing off the comic relief does indeed bring about the shift into a more horrific tone. The frat boys are lightweights compared to the space slugs, and of course become perfect vessels to have their heads splattered. Tom Atkins delivers a grizzled and sarcastic character and adds a layer of seriousness to this otherwise campy tone. He's having a ball with this movie and it shows. Night of the Creeps is a cult classic horror comedy that also might remind you of this other movie called Slither, which is not related, but the comparisons do kind of lend themselves. The practical effects, particularly the design of the alien parasites, are impressively grotesque. There's something about the practicality of these effects that makes them a lot more ugh. This movie is just pure camp, and it knows it. The jokey nature, the quick banter, and light tone is still undermined by its darker side. You have space parasites, aliens, zombies, a detective story, a college romance. What's not to love? Night of the Creeps is 3.5 Bs. A delightful horror comedy that pays homage while standing out on its own. The film embraces its own absurdity, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Night of the Creeps is definitely worth a watch. Just try to keep your mouth covered. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell. You know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.